Hi there. Hope you guys are doing really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and this is going to be a look at your month of June for the sign of Pisces. We're getting into the water signs now. So if you have Pisces anywhere in your chart, this reading may be for you. Always take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, it's not your story. But also, if you like the way I read, just like the way that I deliver messages, consider subscribing. We're on the road to 100 subscribers, and throwing a like at the channel. I'm new. I moved over here from TikTok, so just trying to grow. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email. I almost said Instagram. You can't do it through Instagram, but you can do it through email as well as form submission on my website, okay? Let's get into it, Pisces. I am a Pisces, so keep in mind, if I'm calling you guys out, I'm calling myself out, okay? We're going to be doing a Celtic cross. We're not going as in-depth as I would in a personal reading, just because we'd be here all fucking day. And I'm sure y'all don't want to be here all day with me. I stream 3 days a week on Twitch. If you would like to stream tarot or watch, not if you would like to stream the tarot, but if you'd like to watch me read tarot on Twitch, I'm there 3 days a week. Yeah, and I have a Discord community you can join if you would like. Leave a comment, let me know. We'll get you the invite, okay? All right, Pisces, juicy. Let's get into this. Bottom of the deck challenge. Ace of Cups, Six of Wands, and the Fool. Nine of Pentacles. Some of y'all, the challenge is, it's almost like learning to accept a compliment. Okay, it feels like for a lot of you, the challenge of June. Also, happy Pride if you're in the Alphabet Mafia. It feels like for June, the challenge is for a lot of you. It's not only accepting compliments, but for some of you could be getting into new relationships, and it feels like you're learning how to, I almost want to say like be free, you know, is almost how I want to say this. Like, it feels like you're learning how to not put so much pressure on yourself to like act or engage with people in a certain way. And I feel like this is giving you, it's almost like a new outlook on relationship, on your connection in the dating world. I almost feel like you're learning to be liked for just you. Like, I feel like this is a moment of like, I don't have to act a certain way for people to like me. People just like me for my authenticity. You know, I always tell my clients in my collective, if we don't have our authenticity, what do we have? That's our most like authentic expression. Obviously, it's in authenticity, authentic expression, you know, so it feels like you're really getting a handle on that this month. So let's dive in. You start with strength in your current energies, card of Leo. The Leo reading is up, so if you do have Leo in your chart, maybe go watch that one. Read. Maybe you like to read. I don't know why that just came through. But with strength, it feels like you guys have worked really hard on your confidence. You know, strength is a card of self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem, and it feels like you guys have worked to get to a place where you're like, okay, yeah, like, fuck yeah, I deserve a good relationship, because you're crossed by the Hierophant. The Hierophant is either a help or a hindrance. I feel like Pisces, it's a help for you guys this month. You know, I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be taking stock of all the people and all the relationships, platonic and not, that consistently show up for you, that consistently, the way I want to say this is almost like create space for you so that you can just exist and be. And because that's really like, if you know a Pisces in real life, that's what we love. You know, I shouldn't say we, because I can only speak for myself, but like as a Pisces, I love just like the ability of other people to just create space for us, you know, like I'm always striving to create space for other people. So it is nice. Oh, I got a hangnail. Oh, I'm not gonna pull it, sorry. Anyway, oh, it's a bad one too. I would show you guys, but I don't think my camera will pick it up. Anyway, it feels like, you know, I love the ability of other people to create space that makes me feel comfortable. That kind of shows me that they're including me or that they want me in their lives, and I really appreciate that. It feels like for you, Pisces, you're taking note of the people that do that for you in your own world. You know, are they creating space? Are they holding space for you? Are they supportive of you? King of Cups. Yes, Pisces, we love this. And you're attracting someone, babe. You really are attracting someone. Knight of Cups, King of Cups, the World. This could be someone at a distance with the World. That can talk about physical distance, but it feels like you're attracting someone that is pretty emotionally mature here. Emotionally stable, I also want to say. And I feel like this is coming to you because of your relationship with your authentic expression, you know? It feels like this is almost like a reward for you, you know? I feel like for someone out there, this is gonna be really specific, but like your relationships weren't working because you weren't going into them as you. You were going into them as like what you thought that person wanted to see from you, and that's why that wasn't working. But when you show up just as me and you're like, hey, this is me, this is what I'm all about, this is what I look like, this is what I feel like, you know, it gives the right people the opportunity to get into that space with you, okay? This is like a really positive reading so far. In your headspace, you have the High Priestess. Love to see it, Pisces, because the High Priestess is our card of Pisces. Probably very tapped in this month, okay? If you are not a Pisces that does any sort of divination, I feel like this is the month to really get into it. I feel like your intuition is very bang on point here. It is very direct, is the way I just heard it. And it is also, it's showing you quite a lot, is what I also want to say here. I feel like you're pretty fucking tapped in right now, babe. I gotta tell you. You can't make it up. The High Priestess is clarified by the High Priestess. I wish I could fucking make it up, but you can't. With the Wheel of Fortune here and the Ace of Pentacles, some of you could also be psychic mediums, service providers. You don't have to be. You could also just read tarot for fun. You don't have to do it as a job, you know, but like it really does. Your intuition's popping off here, babe. Okay, Ace of Pentacles with the Wheel of Fortune. If you don't do this as a job, people are gonna look to compensate you. You might be almost like that's such a funny way my guide said this to me, like village seer. Like you may have your own personal, like think village, like our friends, our interpersonal connections. You might be like the seer of the village. You know, you might be that friend where someone's like, oh my God, all my shit is like going wrong. And you're like, you know, when we're just kind of like, you want me to look at it for you? I feel like that could be you. Like I said, you may not do it for a job, but people are going to be looking to pay you back, whether that's through favors or maybe they'll cook for you or bake for you. There's going to be some sort of like give and take here for you, which is really positive. In your physical world, you have the Hanged Man. Again, second card of Pisces, really showing up in your power this month, Pisces. I love to see it. I love to see it for me too. It feels like with the Hanged Man in your physical world. Okay, interesting how my guides just said that to me. You're done looking for deeper explanations and you're kind of just accepting that things are the way that they are right now. I feel like this is a good sign for you, or like a good step for you, because I feel like sometimes as a Pisces, we can kind of get trapped in this like everything has a larger meaning sphere. And it's like, okay, a bird like pooping on my windshield unfortunately doesn't have a larger meaning for me, you know, like, okay, good luck, woo, but like that's not here to tell me something. That's not here to like give me a message, you know. Oh, I saw a squirrel in the morning 3 days in a row. Like there's no deeper meaning there, babe. I live in PA, there's fucking squirrels everywhere, you know what I mean? I feel like you're leaving a phase of your life where you were looking for reasons behind like everything, and I feel like that was distracting you for a while. You know, it's like someone could say something and you'd be like, well, what was the meaning of that? Why would they say that to me? Sometimes people, they just be talking, babe. Yeah, 10 of Swords, King of Wands. I feel like, again, what I think is really positive about this shift in the way you're viewing the world is you're not letting it impact your passions. You know, I feel like with the King of Wands here and the 10 of Swords, like you may not be seeing the deeper meaning in the squirrel like we were talking about, but you're not letting that push you under the waves. I just heard with like, that's interesting. That's very water imagery. I mean, it's Pisces on par for Pisces. This is really gonna bother me, this fucking hangnail. But it really feels like you're just kind of like, okay, this may not mean what I think it means. This may not be this like giant extra message that I thought it was, but that's not gonna stop me. You know, like me seeing accepting that squirrels aren't a sign for me isn't going to stop me from getting on the internet and reading cards, or taking my clients or meeting with my clients or scheduling parties. That's not stopping me, okay? And I feel like that's a good place for you to be right now. In your past, you have the Tower in the reverse. I feel like Pisces, some of you had a really bad habit here of like putting off things that were difficult. There's like some procrastination issues here. It feels like, and let me remind, I don't know who needs to hear this, but procrastination and executive dysfunction they're similar, but they're not the same. Often procrastination can be linked to that executive dysfunction, but I feel like don't try to just kind of group everything together and be like, oh, this is correct. This is all the same thing. You're kind of doing yourself a disservice there. You got the Magician and the Emperor here in the past. I feel like, what is this? This is a weird one. Seven of Wands. I feel like I'm hearing dodged a bullet. I don't think this is literal, unless maybe it is. If that is, let me know. But I feel like with the Seven of Wands here on the split and the deck of the Strength, you may have walked away from something recently, or you may have exited away from someone or like a group of people that were not meant for you. This really does feel like with the Emperor, maybe this was a job as well, because the Emperor can be like entrepreneurial, and the Magician, I feel like you spent a lot of time manifesting what you wanted to manifest, and that involved a departure from something that probably didn't serve you in order to get to someplace that did serve you, which feels, again, really positive here. What I think is interesting in the near future is the Ten of Wands. So there is some sort of like burden that's coming back to haunt you a little bit here. I just burped. That's confirmation for you. What is this little burden that's coming in here? What is this? The Tower? Ew. Maybe it's not so little. Okay, can I get a little bit more about this? This is a little juicy. Because this is like you put something off, Tower in reverse, or maybe you dodged a bullet, but then it came back around. Like it I don't know, this is a weird one. What is this? The Sun. Oh, that was fast. Strength. Okay, I don't feel like this is necessarily the same thing. Queen of Pentacles, for some of you, this relates back to a mother wound, specifically in the area of like, I don't deserve good things. I feel like Pisces, you may be working on in the future getting rid of the heavy burden of this trauma. Like it's like I just heard the word recompense, but like it's like getting rid of that psychological wound, that psychological trauma from the mother figure here for you of like, I don't deserve good things, or like good things shouldn't be happening to me. This to me almost feels like, okay, yeah, like I have good things flowing into my life and I'm gonna let it flow, babe. This is a really positive moment for you. It's gonna feel scary because when the cards came out, I was a little afraid. I was like, wait, what is this? And sometimes I think Pisces we can fall into that trap of like being a little bit Debbie Downer, always expecting the worst because we're so emotional. And I feel like, number one, emotionality is not a weakness at all. But I feel like you guys are gonna have this moment of like, things are gonna start going right and you're almost gonna be like, wait, what's going on? What am I doing? I don't know what's going on. And I feel like what's going to happen is a need to release that wound of, you know what, I don't deserve this, and bring it back to a wound of, no, I do deserve this, and I'm going to keep taking it, and I'm going to keep going forward with it. Okay. Don't let your like fears and insecurities get the best of you this month. Okay, how you're viewing yourself is Judgment. You could find, this is going to be a little bit specific for someone, but I feel like you are coming back around to like something that you once loved or like had passion for. I don't know. This is a weird one. I almost feel like you may pick up like an old habit or hobby. This is weird because what's being highlighted for me is I used to crochet. I crocheted for many years and I made tons of scarves for everyone. And then I was like, okay, I'm done. And my guides keep showing me my crocheted scarves because I still have them in my closet. So I feel like for some of you, this could be I used to be really into this and I'm going to bring it back like a reemergence of an old passion here, or like an old hobby. Let me see. Ooh, the Lovers. Is it a person? I hope it's not a person. It's not. My guides just answered me. I love that. Death and the Chariot. Pisces, the energy here is crazy. Major arcanas on the board like this is insane, okay? A lot of fated, a lot of destiny is at play for you this month. But it does feel like whatever's coming back around for you, I feel like the message here is less about, because, you know, I'm nosy, most readers are. It's less about what exactly is coming back around for you and more so the lesson you've learned of like, okay, well, it's going to shift. It's going to look a little different this time around. And maybe that means it's a little bit healthier for me. Maybe it's a little bit better for me. You know, maybe this is relating back to love, what we talked about in the beginning here. I feel like for some of you, this is love. Obviously, the Lovers doesn't always intrinsically talk about love, romantic love. But I feel like for some of you, this is your ideas again about love changing. It's the idea of like how you're showing up and what you're getting out of the relationship that is also changing for you. Death, but changing in a better way. You know, this is like a release of codependency and this new idea of like, okay, we're both equal people coming to the forefront of a relationship. You know, when we talk about codependency, it's when we both come into a relationship and we're like, bloop, and then suddenly we're all mixed up here. We don't know what's going on. To be in a healthy relationship, I have to show up as a whole person, and so do they, and then we show up, and then there is the relationship. I feel like for some of you, you're learning that now. Your superpower here is the Four of Swords in the reverse. Be careful, Pisces. I feel like I am being targeted by this right now, but if you are Pisces out here, you will probably relate to this. Sometimes we throw ourselves into everything way too fucking much. Okay, it feels like you're being called to look at the ways in which you maybe overwork yourself or throw yourself into the fire and then are just like, yeah, we're here. I feel like with that Four of Swords in the reverse, your guides are like, okay, it's okay to take a break. You know, it's okay to sit down. It's okay to not have to throw your entire energy pool into something and get it done immediately. You can space it out. You can take your time here, okay? Can I get a little more on this, please? Hanged Woman, literally, just like, give yourself some breathing room here, babe. Some breathing room. Yeah, Eight of Swords. You guys do this a lot. I get it. I'm what is the expression? Pot calling the kettle black. You know, like I get it. Sometimes I will throw myself so heavily into an activity, into something that I love doing or like enjoy doing or feel like I need to do, and I lose myself in it, and all I can do is that activity for an extended period of time. You know, for some of you, okay, also let me preface what I'm about to say. I am not a trained medical professional. Consult a doctor if this is you, or if you even need to consult a doctor about this, if you want the diagnosis. But for some of you, there's a little bit of like autism coming through, specifically around like the special interest, like delving into that special interest and then not having like a break for yourself. Okay. I don't think this is inherently a bad thing. But if you were looking like I said, I'm not a medical professional. So if you are like, oh, I'd love an autism diagnosis, I would go to a medical professional. Okay. Your fear is the King of Swords. I do feel like, Pisces, you have a little bit of fear of rejection here. I feel like King of Swords can be like a really harsh critic. Some of you, especially if you are also someone who's working in the public eye, may have to get, there's no really polite way to say this, but you have to like get over this idea of like, everyone needs to like me. Okay. Not everyone's going to like you. I literally talked about this in one of the readings I did earlier today. I don't remember whose it was. You are not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. I used to be a hairdresser. I'm not everyone's hairdresser. I wasn't back then. I'm not everyone's reader. Not everyone's going to jive with the way that I read. I was a barista. Not everyone liked the drinks that I made. You know, it's like you have to accept that with this King of Swords. Being in the public eye, operating around people means indefinitely you will come across someone that does not like you. That's not your responsibility, though. You are not here to mold and shape and chew yourself up to make yourself more palatable for other people, okay? That's like a really big Pisces issue that I know I've seen in a lot of Pisces before. You know, we kind of change shape, and, you know, we're mutable. We're a movable sign. We go with the flow. And we have a bad tendency here to change our shape for the benefit of other people. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups. For a lot of you, this is a family wound. This is like, this comes from the home life. Let me get one more. King of Swords on the King of Swords. Ew. Yeah, like I said, for a lot of you, this could be like a negative father figure in your life. It doesn't have to be. There is no gender here. It doesn't have to be a man. Like I said, gender and energy have no place with one another. A king can be a woman and a queen can be a man. You know, but this is like masculine air energy. So this is that person in your life that's like, why are you doing that? That's stupid. Why would you even try that? You're going to fail at it. You know, a lot of you have this fear of perception from that very specific person in your life, or maybe a few people. And I feel like with that 7 of Cups, I feel like you are learning to, again, there's a lot of old curses being broken here, to release it. You know, to let go of the idea that you have to be perfect to be worthy. Worthiness has no prerequisite. You don't have to earn worthiness. We are inherently worthy, okay? You know, the example I'll give you, because it's really obvious, is I grew up in a household that was like, you know, your worth was tied directly to your weight. So I've had to have years of unlearning in my head of like standing in the mirror and telling myself like, you don't have to be skinny to be worthy. Some of you guys have similar issues here, maybe not about body image, but like about, you know, I don't have to have a 4.0 to be worthy. I don't have to have long hair to be worthy. You know, your family taught you to tie worthiness to things, and now you're really doing the steady and difficult work of untying it, and it's paying off for you. Your outcome here is 5 of Wands, which I think is interesting because your 5 of Wands is conflict. Your month looks so positive that I'm a little thrown that the outcome is 5 of Wands. It feels a little off here. This could be inner conflict. But let me get a couple more. Can I clarify this, please? The Empress? Maybe, oh, it's conflict about receiving. Okay. This month is going to trigger the fuck out of you, Pisces. Okay, I'm going to say it like that because you're getting a lot of good things this month. You're going to be questioning whether or not you're worthy of them, whether or not you deserve them. And that's part of the problem here. Or like, that's not part of the problem, but like, that's where this outcome is coming from. Can I get one more, please? Thank you. Yeah, Ace of Wands in the reverse, babes. Get out of your head here. Okay, Pisces, you tend to be an overthinking sign, and you're going to overthink this, but obviously I can't just tell you, well, you know, stop overthinking, babe. Okay, I'm not like a fake reader on TikTok, you know, oh, you're anxious? Just like, don't be. No, there's no way to really stop being. We can't just be like, oh, I'm not anxious anymore. You know, I feel like with you, what you guys have to start doing is, the word I'm hearing is like positive reinforcement within yourself. Okay. This is again, that moment of like mirror work, what I just talked about, standing in the mirror and telling yourself, I do deserve this. I am a good person. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am good enough. Okay. I don't have to reach a threshold to be good enough and to be deserving of whatever this is that's coming in for you. All right. This is like cognitive behavioral therapy. That's what you're doing to yourself at this point. That's what this is. It's like that conflict is only going to go away if you can retrain the mind, is basically how this month is gonna, that's what this month feels like it's going to be teaching you, is like mind retraining, or like a continuation of mind retraining you've probably already been doing. But okay, let's get you an oracle card, guys. The oracle deck I'm using today is the Angelarium. It is a reimagining of the fallen angels. Let's get you an advice card. Can I get an advice card for Pisces? Pisces. Why are the cards not coming out, Pisces? We feeling stuck? Thank you. Okay, I get this card a lot. I understand. I get both these cards a lot. So Pisces, we're all in the same, this is your challenge, this one's not, but we're all in the same boat here. Your challenge speaks to, I know this card personally, that's why I'm telling you, your challenge speaks to needing to remember that your worries are illusory here. They are just worries. They are overthinking, okay? But your actual advice is Chazakiel, Angel of Mists. Let me see if it will focus. Will you focus? No, I guess not. Okay. But I'm going to read it to you because this deck absolutely pops off. Jessica, 27. Some of you maybe are 27. Maybe you're turning 27. Maybe you're going through your, what is the 27 Saturn return? Okay. Despair creeps up slowly and seductively. The romance of sadness brings us into its embrace and shields our eyes from the light in the world. If you are drawing this card, ask yourself if your vision has narrowed. Peer beyond the fog. Look for a glimmer in the distance rather than the shadows at your feet. No matter how tight the walls close, the larger world is always still out there. Okay, this is always a reminder for me to, like I said, get out of my head, but also like to see the world for what it is, not for what I think the world is, not for what I am perceiving the world is. It's like fact over the way that I'm perceiving it. Okay. Pisces, I will leave you guys with this. Your month looks great. Okay. Like I said in the beginning, if you like the way I read and you want to subscribe, we're on the road to 100 subscribers. Leave a like. It really does help out the algorithm for me. Yeah, I stream 3 days a week on Twitch. I think I told you guys that already, but I will remind you, I stream 3 days a week on Twitch. So you can find me over there Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday from 6 to 8, Wednesday, Friday, and then 4 to 6 on Saturday. I also have a Discord you can join if you would like. Let me know in the comments if you want the Discord, and we can get you that link, okay? Much love, Pisces. If I don't see you on Discord, not Discord. If I don't see you on Twitch, I will see you in the next video, okay? Bye.